Want to fight?
Only God Forgives is a violent movie, filled with torture, beatdowns, and shootouts. Not only does it portray the brutal violence of the Bangkok drug underworld, it also does so in an extremely artsy and visually compelling way. Only God Forgives trades dialogue for a more visual narrative, telling its story through visual cues and imagery rather than a full-blown script. And man, is this a beautiful looking movie. One of the better things that Only God Forgives does is symbolism told through various aspects of the film. The aspect we will be focusing on in this video is hands. Hands in the film represent masculinity, something that Julian, played by Ryan Gosling, struggles with throughout the film from multiple sources: his mother, girlfriend, and his lack of being able to control himself in violent situations. He feels the need to prove his masculinity by engaging in horrific acts of violence to prove to himself that he's a man. It is implied that he and his mother had a sexual relationship that was at least somewhat abusive, and this is where the inferiority complex and his self-diagnosed lack of masculinity come from. Hands in the film are usually the catalyst to many of the acts of violence in this film. Every time there's a clenched fist, there usually follows an act of violence. Take this scene, for example, of Julian sitting in a club. He notices two gangbangers sitting in a booth next to him. He clenches his fists, and here's what follows immediately after. Brutal, right? Take this scene as well. Julian slowly examines his hands, almost like he's memorizing every single detail on his palms and knuckles. The shot immediately following is the statue of the man with his fists clenched. That definitely was not a coincidence. Now watch this scene, in which he confronts his brother's killer. Hands in the movie play the pivotal role of starting violence and ending conflict. In what is considered the climax, Julian and the officer fight to achieve dominance over one another. It's a primal instinct that both men feel the need to convey to each other that, I'm a man, and I'll prove it to you by beating the living shit out of you. It's actually quite tragic, because Julian gets destroyed in the fight, and this character that we've been following all throughout the film is never truly at peace with himself. The one thing that he wants to try to prove to himself gets squashed in this fight. His masculinity is literally and symbolically destroyed. This is further reinforced at the end of the movie, where his hands are cut off as punishment, effectively making Julian a husk of what he once was. Only God Forgives isn't a perfect film, but what it does perfectly is its use of visual storytelling. It won't be for everyone, considering it's paced like a snail on codeine, but if you're looking for a movie with incredible cinematography, it takes its time with its themes, and makes you think about them long after, then give it a watch. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.